Welcome to the NPTE Final Frontier podcast, helping one student at a time. Visit NPTEFF.com to enroll today so you can pass tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us here on the NPTE Final Frontier podcast. My name is Emily, and today I will be discussing the talocrural joint. So the talocrural joint, or ankle joint, is a uniaxial, modified hinge synovial joint. The joint is formed by the talus, the medial malleolus of the tibia, and the lateral malleolus of the fibula. The joint is most stable or immobile when in dorsiflexion and most unstable or mobile when in plantar flexion. The two main ligaments of the talocrural joint include the lateral collateral and medial collateral. So now I will be diving further into these two groups of ligaments surrounding the ankle joint. All right, first up, let's dive into the collateral ligaments. The lateral collateral ligaments complex consists of three separate bands of ligaments that act as static stabilizers of the joint. These include the anterior talofibular ligament, or ATFL, the posterior talofibular ligament, or PTFL, and the calcaneofibular ligament, or CFL. So now let's discuss the attachment sites and function of each of the three ligaments. So the ATFL attaches from the anterior aspect of the lateral malleolus, extending anteriorly and medially to the neck of the talus. It functions to resist anterior displacement of the talus relative to the ankle mortise, ankle joint internal rotation, and plantar flexion. So the CFL attaches from the apex of lateral malleolus, extending inferiorly and posteriorly to the lateral surface of the calcaneus. This ligament functions to resist ankle inversion and calcaneal adduction relative to the fibula throughout the full ankle joint range of motion. And finally, the PTFL attaches from the posterior medial portion of the fibula, extending to the lateral tubercle aspect of the talus. This ligament functions to stabilize the talus within the ankle mortise. So lateral ligament ankle sprains, which are also referred to as inversion ankle sprains, are one of the most common sports-related injuries to occur. A lateral ligament sprain usually is due to forced plantar flexion and inversion. The ATFL is the most commonly injured lateral ligament, followed by the PTFL. So now that we have discussed the lateral collateral ligaments, it's time to discuss the medial collaterals. The medial collateral ligament is commonly referred to as the deltoid ligament because of its triangular shape. The deltoid ligament consists of both superficial and deep fibers. So the superficial fibers of the ligament consist of the posterior tibiotalar fibers, the tibiocalcaneal fibers, and the tibionavicular fibers. The posterior tibiotalar fibers attach from the medial malleolus, extending posterolaterally to the medial side of the talus and medial tuberosity of the talus. It functions to resist dorsiflexion and external rotation of the talus. The tibiocalcaneal fibers attach from the medial malleolus, extending to the sustentaculum tali. They function to resist abduction of the talus, calcaneus, and navicular when the foot and ankle are in plantar flexion and eversion. The tibionavicular fibers attach from the medial malleolus, extending to the tuberosity of the navicular. They function to resist lateral translation and external rotation of the finus. And finally, we have the deep fibers of the deltoid ligament, which consist of the anterior tibiotalar fibers. These attach from the tip of the medial malleolus, extending to the anterior aspect of the medial surface of the talus. They function to resist abduction of the talus when it is in plantar flexion and eversion. So due to the strength of the deltoid ligament and the lateral malleolus acting as a bony block against excessive eversion, sprains of the deltoid or medial ligament are not nearly as common as the lateral ankle sprains. However, in the case of an eversion or medial ligament sprain, the tibiocalcaneal fibers are most commonly injured. I hope you now have a better understanding of the anatomy behind the lateral and medial ligaments surrounding the talocrural joint, the function of these ligaments, and when they are commonly injured. As always, thank you very much for listening. For more information on the NPTE Final Frontier, please visit NPTEFF.com. You can also check out all of our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Till next time, have a great day and a powerful tomorrow.